Well, good morning. My name is Ted Clouser, host of Win the Minute, Win the Day, the show that focuses on bringing hope to the chaos. Today, we have Jeff Smith as our guest. Jeff is a man who understands he plays a role in building his own legacy. He co-founded a mortgage company in 1999, growing the independent mortgage broker to 5 locations and seeing it become a finalist for Arkansas Business of the Year in 2004. In 2006, Jeff left to join the family business, Smith Family Funeral Homes, buying it from his parents in 2010. He's been involved in numerous acquisitions and explosive growth, and now is on to his next venture, taking his expertise across the globe with CYRUS Insurance. Jeff, welcome.
Good morning, Ted. I'm excited, a little bit nervous, but happy to be here.
Don't be nervous, just be yourself. All right, well, let's just jump right in. Jeff, what's an approach you personally take with waking up with a go win the day attitude?
Well, my go win the day is not rocket science, but every day I start off by just getting up a little bit early and setting my alarm. Does my screen look to you like it does to me?
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. I don't know how to fix that, but I don't know how to change it. It's a computer issue. So I'll just keep on going. I wasn't doing this earlier, guys, so I guess you get to listen. You don't get to watch so much.
That's all right.
Yeah. Well, I get up every morning, and I start on quiet time with God. I get up, set my alarm, and like to spend minimum 15 minutes just reading the Word, praying, thinking. My wife now gets up with me, and we usually will drink coffee. We're both pretty quiet for a little bit, and then we'll pray together every day. If I don't start my day off like that, I just feel like I'm running before it ever got started. It's just vital to me to have that moment of solitude at the start of the day.
I love it. Well, especially adding your wife into it, obviously that gets the day off right in that part too. Well, you've had a lot of incredible things going on recently. What's something you're really excited about?
Well, I'm really excited about a vision that God gave. Really, I feel like He shared with me close to 7 years ago. And we're now beginning to see it come to fruition. I'm a third generation funeral home owner. So my granddad started a funeral home in 1955. And as you talked about earlier, I did not come into the family business at first. In fact, my dad told me I wasn't welcome to come work in the family business. He said I needed to go off somewhere else, do my own thing, learn lessons. And if I did that, was successful, when I came back in the family business, I would benefit from it, and I would be more respected by our employees. It was great advice. And my wife and I bought the business from my parents January 1, 2010. And we're in the funeral business, and people don't think about funerals, and they don't like to think about them changing. But there's been a lot of change in the funeral industry, primarily driven by changing consumer preferences. And so what had worked for my dad, oh, look, that looks better.
Good work.
But it worked for my dad and my granddad really wasn't working for me anymore. And I was in a lot of debt because my dad, rightfully so, sold us the business, didn't give it to us. And I had to figure out new ways to connect with the consumer and maintain profitability and service our debt and all those good things. So for the last several years, really over the last decade, we were just looking at improving our own business. We worked with consultants. We worked with all types of outsource agencies. And we found a proven success model. And about 7 years ago, I really felt like one morning I was praying. I felt like God just put it on my heart that one day we would share this with other businesses, both in the funeral space and even outside the funeral space. And we're beginning to see that happen. Over the last year, what's happened is we have bought a life insurance company that my granddad also started. It was owned by my aunt, and we've renamed it CYRUS Life Insurance Company. And I see a vision currently for the excellence that we've achieved in our funeral homes. We've increased profitability. We've won numerous customer service awards. We've expanded market share. We really have done well with marketing. All these ideas we want to share with other business owners, and we want to obviously connect them with our life insurance company. And so we see really starting a consulting business, which we have named CYRUS Business Solutions. And that falls underneath the parent umbrella we're calling CYRUS Works. So all that to say, it's been really busy. On top of all that, as most people know, funeral homes have been very busy, unfortunately, due to the pandemic. So 2020 was quite the year, but we are launching CYRUS Works, and really excited about the opportunity to carry out the vision God gave me, which is to help other businesses grow and prosper, really whatever industry they're in. Business principles don't change. Industries change, but the principles themselves don't change. And so that's what we're up to. Really excited about it. And we are just on the very front end of launching CYRUS Works.
Well, that's exciting. And I had the chance to share that video today for anybody that hasn't yet seen it. It is on my feed. And I can tell you that I see that God's with you because I can see the glow from heaven right on your face, Jeff. So keep it up.
Yeah.
What's a memorable story that you can share on when you had to personally live out winning the day?
You know, this question, you told me in advance that you were going to be asking me this question, so I wanted to be prepared. And I really thought about it. This is not technically a business answer, but it really impacted everything in my life. I'm a recovering alcoholic. It runs in my family. And, 14, coming up on 15 years ago, is when I quit drinking, and I had to turn to Alcoholics Anonymous and quit drinking because I realized that I was powerless over alcohol. I had a incident in my life, like a lot of alcoholics have, that really woke me up to the fact that although I thought I could manage drinking, I can't. When I start drinking, something inside of me wants more, and I can't always turn that off. And so I had a accident, really woke me up, and that's actually where I started my quiet time. It really recentered me on God, and I realized that I'm truly powerless over alcohol. And not only am I powerless over alcohol, I'm powerless over everything. And I'm dependent upon God every single day. And everything good that I have truly does come from Him. I did hit the bottom. I had to own up to it. I quit every single civic organization, every leadership position, everything I was doing. I quit it all other than maintain my job, and told people why. Said I'm an alcoholic and I need to focus on my sobriety. If I don't get this right, I'm not going to get anything right. And I'm so grateful that my wife encouraged me. She encouraged me both kindly and sternly, which was really good. I needed that. And those around me supported me. Everybody in my network and community really supported me. And so that was really a moment where I think everybody gets knocked down. And I've had other moments in my life where I've been, truly knocked to my knees. But what defines you is not if you get knocked down, but it's how you respond. And it's if you get back up again. And sometimes you do it to yourself, and sometimes circumstances cause you to get knocked down. So that was probably one of the most impactful event that's occurred in my life, where I had to, go win the day. I wasn't going to stay down and out.
Well, I'm glad you did. That's a great story. Thank you for your vulnerability. I know it takes a lot of courage, but it also shows the man that you are to be willing to talk about those things. So thank you. Those are the things people need to hear. Well, you're a father, a husband, a businessman, a believer, and a serial entrepreneur. How do you manage it all? And what is some advice you can give to those listening?
I think the way I manage it all, first and foremost, is I'm the same guy all the time. And I can't always say that I live that way. It was more in my late 20s when I realized I didn't have to fake it to make it. And the Jeff Smith you meet right here on LinkedIn Live is going to be the same guy that you're going to meet if you walk into the front doors of our funeral home, or if you come over to my house to have dinner and watch a football game. I just don't have to fake it anymore. And so that is probably one of the most fundamental things that in realizing my true priorities, what is most important to me. Being successful in business, I could make millions of dollars. I could be the #1 host on a show on LinkedIn Live. I could be all kinds of things. But along the way, if I lose my wife and I lose my children, I have no one to share it with. What fun is it to have victories when you go home and it's an empty house? And the thing that's most important to me is my wife and my children. So I don't get caught up in trying to work 60, 70 hours a week. I know to turn it off. I know to go home. And I have a great wife. My wife, Leslie, she is sweet as can be, but God knew what I needed, and she has got a spine of iron. And she knows how to put her foot down and say, look, we need you here at the house. We need you to stay focused. So it's really having the priorities, knowing my family comes first. And if I'm not healthy and whole as a person, beginning at home, then I can't be the leader that I need to be. And I won't have the energy and enthusiasm that I need to have to lead our team and organization. And that's what our team needs most from me. They know how to do their job. We have great systems that we put in place. We figured out how to do that. But creating and maintaining culture is not something you can necessarily read in a playbook. I think it comes from the heart. It comes from the heart of the leader. It's not a responsibility that I can give or hand off to anyone else. And so I have to be healthy physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. I take care of my financial house too, because that'll bring additional stress. And when I'm healthy and whole, centered on God and centered on my family, then I can give to my company and my employees what they need.
Well, that's incredible advice, especially given all that you've done recently. I mean, I've watched you. Obviously, you're a friend of mine, and so we have the opportunity to share stories. But just to watch what you've done in the public eye is so impressive. And so to hear, and I can attest, you are that same man, business, personal, and I love that about you. So appreciate that, and certainly know that it'll influence others. We've got, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Siju Kumar on here that says, hello, Jeff Smith and Ted Clouser. Good to see and listen to your conversation. Well, it's great to have you here with us. So, Jeff, how do you personally unwind after winning the day?
How do I personally unwind? My favorite way to unwind is I love to go work out at the end of the day. For those of you out there, I'm going to give a shout out to Orange Theory Fitness. I found that about 2 years ago. It's 1 hour, and I love to go in there, and I can just do my exercise, go home, taking care of myself physically. But even on the days where I don't go work out, it's healthy for me to go home, have a little bit of time to just kind of be quiet, be to myself. Usually I veg out watching the news or whatever, but then I need to quickly connect with my wife and with my kids. Ted, the things I'm sharing with you are not rocket science, but they work. They're fundamentals that work. And so I go home. I do put my phone up as best as I can. I leave my phone charger's in the bathroom. So I like to leave my phone back in the bathroom and I'll tell you another thing I do. I turn my email off. I go into the settings of my iPhone and I physically turn the email off, because if I see those notifications and I see that I have, for me, email is a trigger. And if I see that I have email, I get sucked back into work pretty quick. And it's really hard for me to unwind if I'm still looking at my phone. And so I really try hard not to spend too much time on my phone at night and just do the simple things, spend time with my family, watch some shows, and relax.
Love it. A no phone zone. There, you heard it from Jeff Smith, people. Well, I am grateful that you took time to come visit with us today. I love your story. I love your vulnerability. I think it'll really resonate with people. And again, I'm excited to continue to watch and see what you're doing. And on that note, go win the day.